tracks, stats, and facts. www.enterthedome.com.
Good people, what's going on? Episode 19, the Dome Podcast. Let's get it. First off, as I always do, thank you for the support so far. Thanks for the love. Thanks for following me on Twitter, Tony the Dome, and also to all the new subscribers. I appreciate you. We're just getting started. Thanks for the comments, man. I see the comments coming through now, and the dialogue is good, man. So I have to always say thank you. You know what I'm saying? Now, I did a tweet in the last 24 hours about the game and Eminem, and I talked about, of course, the game is working on a new album. It should be coming soon. So, he has controversy each time he's about to come out. That's how the games he play. You know what I'm saying? But one of my things was he targeted Eminem. That gets attention. He know how to market himself. My tweet was about Eminem, of course, is a better overall MC in the game. I don't think too many people doubt that, even though there has been some discussion on my page today. And also, I talked about me actually listening to the game discography probably more than Eminem's discography. And that might be because of the production and some of the songs and things like that, but we do understand Eminem is a doper MC. But as I've done in several episodes so far, let's do a little, somewhat of a versus to a degree with what some would say Marshall Mathers LP is Eminem's best album. Some would say the documentary is Game's best album. Some might say the Doctor's Advocate. Some people even believe the Eminem Show is Eminem's best album overall. But nevertheless, I'm going to use these two because these are the two that's most recognized by fans in regard to both of these artists. So we want to do that, excuse me. I also thought it was interesting as well because Dr. Dre is obviously involved in both of these projects. Dr. Dre did produce some on the documentary. He had a slew of producers on the documentary. It's probably one of the biggest lineups of producers I've ever seen on the album before. It's funny when you think about how Illmatic was like the catalyst for having multiple producers. And then, of course, after that, a lot of artists record labels brought in multiple producers to do tracks for albums. Before that, of course, you will have a producer, DJ, and MC or in-house production team. Now, Eminem's album, it has Dr. Dre, Mailman, Eminem did some production on it, and a few other people. But Dr. Dre, again, is pretty much the one, for both of these guys in terms of help pushing these projects. You know what I'm saying? So, again, like I've done before, there are skits on albums that we have to try to match it up where some of the songs will match. It'll be thrown off as far as sequencing because of the skits, obviously. But nevertheless, it's to give us a feel of how these two albums compare to each other. Now, again, this can cause interesting discussions because even though not Slim Shady LP, but the Marshall Mathers LP is a hip-hop album, you do have a lot of other demographics that gravitated to this album. Some of them wouldn't be some of the same fans that would gravitate to Game's documentary album. You know what I mean? Now, yes, hip-hop fans is vast, as far as race, culture, everything. People from all backgrounds love both of these albums, don't get me wrong. But we do know that more, white kids listen to the Marshall Mathers LP probably versus the Game documentary. And the Game documentary had, a certain feel, West Coast vibe where West Coast fans would gravitate to it, but it had also East Coast type sounds as well. So nevertheless, don't get me wrong, fans on every side of the spectrum enjoy both of these albums. But I do want to say that there are pockets of fans who probably listen to one album but don't listen to the other one. That's a discussion that we can have in the comment section. It's a discussion we can have on Twitter, if you get what I'm saying. Nevertheless, let's look at the track list, man. As we always do, people. Public service announcement is a skit. So we got to watch that out. The Game first song intro is kind of a skit. I mean, it's only a few seconds long. So we're going into Kill You versus West Side Story. Now look, Kill You and West Side Story are two perfect songs to set off the mood, the tempo, the energy, and the vibe of both of these albums. You know what I'm saying? And I love intros and first tracks of albums that really set the tone. You know what I'm saying? Same way I like outros. You know what I'm saying? So Kill You is really, it's produced by Dr. Dre. Eminem goes right into his bag of just dope flow, dope lyricism, some shock value to it. But like I said, it gives you everything that you're going to get moving forward in the duration of this album, man. Kill You is an amazing song. It's probably one of my top 5 favorite Eminem songs. I mean, the flow is bananas. West Side Story featuring 50 Cent is the first single on the album. And we'll talk about the singles and things like that at some point. Now, I really love the joint. It gives you that West Coast feel. I mean, it was the perfect way to set off like, okay, this guy Game is about to be a star. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a perfect joint. Now, this is going to probably be about preference. You know what I'm saying? Because I love both of these songs. You know what I'm saying? Even though Kill You is probably more ill in terms of just rapping, I would give Kill You the edge on just rapping. West Side Story, to me, is a better song. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go with the Game for round one with West Side Story featuring 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? Even though, again, Eminem was rhyming better than, to me, he was rhyming better than 50 Cent and the Game. You know what I'm saying? Though they both represented, Eminem was ill, but I got to pick a one. I'm going to go with the better song. It's West Side Story. I listen to West Side Story more than Kill You. West Side Story is going to be in the car more than Kill You, but I do respect what Eminem did on that song. So looking at the second song, I mean, after that, we got Stan versus Dreams. Now, look, Kanye West did a great job on Dreams. Dreams was dope. I like the lyrics to it. You know, Game's going to name drop some, but this is one of the songs where Game name dropping on Dreams made sense. You know, so I couldn't imagine it being written without the names on it. It made perfect sense. Like I said, I thought it was a well-crafted song. Very dope song. Probably one of my favorite Game songs. But Stan, let's be serious. Stan is probably, it's one of the most unique songs in hip-hop history. It changed the game. It's kind of like Nas Ether. It's a song that the name of the song is in hip-hop lore. You know what I'm saying? It's legendary. You know what I'm saying? So Stan became legendary, like LL Cool J saying the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Now the GOAT is in every discussion of everything. Well, Stan is in sports now and all in media. You know what I'm saying? But not even just that. Eminem painted a picture that was so vivid, like a movie. And then when you see the video, what he did on the video, just the wordplay, so many layers in Stan, man. And Stan has some truth in it, not just his fans. We like to joke about Eminem fans being Stans, and it's ironic how it ended up being that way on social media for Eminem fans. But the word just makes so much sense, man. And he crafted a beautiful song in terms of the skill of writing a song. I would probably say, in terms of uniqueness, impact, and what it means to the culture, Stan is probably a top 10 rap song of all time. So, I mean, Eminem's going to win that round, people. I mean, it just is what it is. Now, that was Skid after that. Who Knew is the next track, and that's going to go against Hate It or Love It, 50 Cent again. Now, Who Knew is ill. You know what I'm saying? And he was basically saying, you know, he's the scapegoat for everything that's going on in the community, for your kids, for any kind of school violence, for all of this stuff. He's like, maybe you are a bad parent, you know what I'm saying? And he also talking about who knew I would be who I am, who knew I was going to be famous and rich and people listening to me. I'm a dude from the trailer, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So it's a very dope song. Probably an underrated song on Marshall Mathers LP. But it's not better than Hate or Love It. Hate or Love It is one of the top 5 songs on the documentary. Dope song, dope single, dope video. I mean, it's just a great song, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't, I don't really have to say too much more in that regard. Hate or Love It is better than Who Knew. You know what I'm saying? Now, Steve Berman, that's another skit. You know what I'm saying? So the next song is gonna be The Way I Am, and that's gonna go up against Higher. So I'm gonna give The Way I Am the edge over Higher. Higher is a dope song. You know what I'm saying? It's probably one of my personal little favorites on the documentary. I like the beat. I like the way Game was rhyming on that particular song. But I am the way I am is just, it's another one of those staple songs for early part of Eminem's career. If there's gonna be a greatest list or greatest hits Eminem album, if I was making up one and I was taking his 15 best songs or 15 most important songs, etc., then The Way I Am is gonna be on there. You know what I'm saying? It's just at the end of the day, I just think it's a well crafted, it's a better song than Higher, but Higher is a dope song. You know what I'm saying? Now we go into the next round. It's Real Slim Shady versus How We Do. Now look, this is the fifth round. The Real Slim Shady, I get it. We know that was to once again bring his MTV crowd back in the mix, album layout, stuff like that. It's one of the it's actually the first single for the album, so we know what that was about. That's business. That was business to get sales going, radio, MTV, VH1, etc., whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I never liked the song. It would probably be on his greatest hits, but I don't like it. I get why it was done. It's definitely not better than How We Do, featuring 50 Cent. You hear the theme, so 50 Cent was heavily involved in the Game's debut album. But anyway, this is just a great song. How We Do is the beat bangs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a banger, man. It's just a banger. It's just a better song. I mean, I don't even think we need to say much. You go put both of them on beside each other. You'd have to be a real stan, no pun intended, of Eminem to even remotely try to compare the Real Slim Shady to How We Do. That's not even a comparison by a real hip hop fan. Now, if you're just a fan of Eminem, not a fan of hip hop, then you'll pick that song. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's just what it is. Now, if you look, something like Kill You versus West Side Story, if a fan picked Kill You over that, which I didn't, that could be a real hip hop fan, not just like some Eminem stan. But the Real Slim Shady is not going to beat how We Do on no level, unless again Eminem's your favorite rapper and you just love everything he does and whatever. So let's not even go there anymore. So we're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on round 6 now. We're looking at Remember Me featuring RBX and Sticky Fingers. Now, I always love to hear Sticky Fingers on any song because Sticky Fingers is actually an amazing MC. You know what I'm saying? I did a little thread, giving him his flowers about a year ago. But Sticky Fingers is just a monster on the mic. RBX always respectable. Remember Me is a good song. You know what I'm saying? But Don't Need Your Love, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, Don't Need Your Love is dope. You know what I'm saying? Havoc did the production at the beginning of it. Game said, hey, Prodigy, I need you on this. And I'm going to tell you something. Prodigy would have blessed Don't Need Your Love. But even without him, with Havoc on the beat, and Game came off pretty sincere on the track. It was a good transition from the previous tracks on the album. It's a good vibe. He has some depth in that joint. I mean, yes. I mean, the Game is gonna win that round, man. It's just a better song. I don't think too many of you guys would disagree with me on that. Let's continue. Now we're on I'm Back. Eminem's track I'm Back versus Church for Thugs. Look, man, Church for Thugs is, I think, is that Just Blaze beat that it comes in, dun, 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 then it goes down, dun, 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 and then it goes back up. And it's just an ill dope production. I want to say Blaze did that joint. Man, not much to say there, man. It's a dope song, dope beat. Again, the production on the documentary is top notch. But I just think this song is better than I'm Back. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give this the Game right here. So now I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-2 Game. And look, this is just where it is right now. Let's continue. We're gonna look at Marshall Mathers versus Put You Up on Game. Put You Up on Game was a good song. It's probably not one of my favorite songs on the documentary. Again, good production. Not the greatest song ever in his discography, but Marshall Mathers is one of my favorite Eminem songs. Just Martha Mathers. Man, he killed that song. Just a regular guy, don't know all the fuss about me. You know what I'm saying? He just said so much crazy joints in there. He's talking about his life. You know what I'm saying? He just pretty much broke down his life and then where he is right now at that point in time, as far as like being a rap star or whatever. And he talked about family and groupies. He was like, see, some little groupies, something go F Puffy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he says some ill stuff on there, man. Marshall Mathers, check that song out if you don't remember that joint. It's my favorite song on the Marshall Mathers LP, actually. You know what I'm saying? It just totally wipes out Put You Up on Game to me. You know what I'm saying? It's not even close. You know what I'm saying? And I'd like to hear more. At that time, I would have liked to hear more songs from Eminem that kind of fit that vibe. You know what I'm saying? And he gives it every now and then, but that was a good song, man. A great song, actually. Ken Kniff is a skit. Then Drug Ballad featuring Dina Ray. Drug Ballad is a dope song. I listened to it again a few minutes ago. I hadn't heard it in years. You know what I'm saying? But Drug Ballad is a good song. But I got it's against Start From Scratch. And hey man, Start From Scratch is just a better song. You know what I'm saying? Marshall Ambrosia on there, better song. You know what I'm saying? Next track, The Documentary. I love that title track. The Documentary versus Amityville, featuring Bizarre. Not the biggest Bizarre fan, but you know, he did all right. But Amityville is a good song, but the documentary title track it's just a better song, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a doper song. What more can I say? I don't need to go in details about that. We'll talk a few minutes in more detail about certain songs and just the comparing the game and Eminem. We got some interesting talking points to discuss real quick. Now we're going into track 15, which is not going to be 15 on here. Again, the skits through the numbering off, and I'll tell you where I am with the score in a few minutes. Bitch Please 2 featuring Dr. Dre, Exhibit, Snoop Dogg, and you know, Nate Dogg. Rest in peace, Nate Dogg. You know what I'm saying? And that's going up against Running featuring Tony Yayo, and Dion. Now, obviously, Eminem wins that round. I mean, Bitch Please is just a better song than that. No need to even go any further. Kim is next up. Kim reminds me, okay, my dog is in there acting crazy. Kim reminds me of the song Just the Two of Us that Eminem did about killing his wife or baby mama, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So Kim is a wild song, wild lyrics. It fits that same vibe of just the two of us. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to go up against No More Fun and Games. I'm gonna give Kim that one. As far as like with Eminem, No More Fun and Games, okay, still in my bottom tier of the documentary. Don't really like that song that much. You know what I'm saying? Now, D12 track Under the Influence, excuse me, and that's gonna go up against We Ain't featuring Eminem. That's gonna go to the game as we continue. Criminal is a dope song. You know what I'm saying? Up against Where I'm From, featuring Nate Dogg. I'm gonna go ahead and give that to Eminem with Criminal. All right. So bonus track, The Kids. Again, Don't Worry, featuring Mary J. Blige. I actually think The Kids is iller. The Kids is a wild song, man. It's Eminem again, kind of got a rock flavor to it, whatever. I think, but The Kids is wild, you know, and he's dropping some crazy jewels, some crazy science to that, you know what I'm saying? But it worked out because that was the vibe that he was on at the time, you know what I'm saying? So I think that I had to give that to The Kids over Don't Worry. Now, to throw things off, and I do believe there are some other bonus tracks for the Marshall Mathers LP too that I had to pull up because right now that will be the final track. That's a bonus track, but I still have the track Like Father Like Son featuring Busta Rhymes. And Like Father Like Son is one of my favorite Game songs. You know what I'm saying? It's probably my third or fourth favorite song on a documentary. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what I would put that one up against. I'd have to look and see if there's another song Eminem has, maybe on a deluxe edition or something like that. Somebody know a song that I could compete with, like Father Like Son with the Game. I'm gonna look real quick, but nevertheless, I'll just kind of show you what I have right here. It's gonna have to. I'm gonna have to watch track 18, but I have 1, 2, 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's looking like I have it like 8 to 6. It looked like something to that effect. I mean, it's kind of thrown off because, like I said, the skits. But nevertheless, I have the documentary edging out the Marshall Mathers LP just a little bit. It has like one or two more songs, I believe, overall. But I think I had it edged out personally. You know what I'm saying? I like to see what you guys think in regard to the Marshall Mathers LP versus the documentary. I do think that the production on Marshall Mathers LP is dope. You know what I'm saying? I think the Eminem show might be a little bit better as an overall album. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, just for the purpose of this discussion, I wanted to use the Marshall Mathers LP. Very dope production. One of his best produced albums overall in terms of total production. The documentary is probably one of the top 10 best produced albums in the history of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like if you just take the game off and you just play the instrumentals to this album, I mean, it's probably on par with a produced album like Mobb Deep's The Infamous, you know what I mean? Or Tribe's Midnight Marauders. I mean, just amazing production. We're just talking about production right now. I mean, it's probably only 2 beats on the documentary that I don't love. The rest of the beats on the documentary are incredible. Can you imagine, Jay-Z, Nas, somebody like Biggie voice over those beats, or even, just any other those MCs, not to take anything from Game, because Game actually did a great job on the album. You know what I'm saying? But even if you strip the Game off and put prime 50 Cent from this time period on here, think about how the album still could have sounded. You know what I'm saying? And I do believe that both of these albums are classics for different reasons. I do think that Eminem's lyrical display, wordplay, flow, everything like that makes, and subject matter. I mean, he touched on a little bit of everything. Some of it's crazy subject matter, but some of it's ill subject matter. 5 Mics, Impact, whatever. The documentary, I do believe, is a classic. I do believe it's one of the West Coast classics of the 2000s. You know what I mean? So I really do believe that. You know what I'm saying? And Doctor's Advocate, I would say, is a 4.5 mic album, and it had no influence from Dr. Dre and the production team and people that he was working with on the first album. You know what I'm saying? So in the Game discography going into that, like I said today, I said that I felt like the Game discography is something that I listen to more than Eminem discography. Not saying he's better, because Eminem is a more dynamic MC than the Game is. You know what I'm saying? But the Game is a good rapper. You know what I'm saying? He's a dope rapper when he's focused. As far as the battle part of it, I think Game is just talking. Now, some people say, "Oh man, Eminem only battled Insane Clown Posse or Britney Spears or Mariah Carey, the boy bands." He wasn't battling them for real. He was joking around, clowning them, stuff like that. It wasn't a rap battle. You know what I'm saying? He threw shots at Benzino. That wasn't a rap battle. He threw shots even at Ja Rule. That wasn't really a rap battle. Eminem is from the battle scene. He used to battle in Detroit. He used to battle all over in competitions, and I think he even won against Rhyme Fest and a few other notable battle MCs. That's what he did. You know what I'm saying? So the 8 Mile moving, 8 Mile just vibe, that is reminiscent of what Eminem did. You know what I'm saying? Like, he used to rhyme on stage battling people. That's not what Game do. You know what I'm saying? So when people say Eminem don't have the same kind of experience in terms of like against competition, unlike the Game, who beefed against everyone and made 300 bars and, did all this battling and stuff like that, that doesn't matter, because Eminem focused on the Game and they really battled, especially if it would have been, 10 years ago. I think he would have watched the Game. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know how enthused Eminem would be right now. Game would probably be more hungry. So it might make it interesting, because Game is still making music. You know what I'm saying? He still like attention. He still is aggressive in that regard. Eminem, who's one of the most successful musicians ever in American music, would he still even have that hunger to even fight, you know what I'm saying, in a rap battle against the Game? I don't even know how important it would even be to him. You know what I'm saying? So when people talking about this whole thing, maybe Game would have a chance, because M might not be that satisfied with even trying to do it. He might not find the satisfaction in it. Now, if you find, this would be the Eminem pre-Slim Shady doing the Slim Shady EP, doing Infinite, You know what I'm saying? Like some of you Eminem fans, do you have Infinite in your collection? You should have that. That is Eminem's 1996 actual album. You know what I'm saying? It was not on a major label, but it was an album where he was kind of sounding like AZ on it. You know, he really was rapping like AZ to me on there. A little bit of Nas, a little bit of Master Ace, a little bit of Tretch, a little bit of Redman. I mean, all of them, because those are the people who influenced Eminem. But I heard a lot of AZ on Infinite. You know what I'm saying? I think he even addressed that on another song before. You know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. Now, that Eminem during that period when he was battling and rhyming like that, yeah, to me, he'd crushed the game. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know how Eminem is rapping right now. I haven't heard any new Eminem in a while. You know what I'm saying? But last few times, well, I heard him over on Nas King's Disease. You know, people was raving about his verse. I didn't really love it like that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, and if he came with that type of style against the game right now, I think the game might take him if he did that. You know what I'm saying? But looking back at these two albums, and I think I had to go back and grade it again, but I had Game winning by a few rounds. You know, I do listen to the documentary more, you know what I'm saying, than I listen to the Marshall Mathers LP. I listen to Doctor's Advocate. I listen to LAX. I listen to the Jesus Peace joint. Even the documentary too. That double CD, man, that joint was right. You know what I'm saying? Then what was that? The 1992 joint album. Look, man, Game got some albums, man. You know what I'm saying? He got some albums, yo. You know what I'm saying? As far as Eminem, I do like the Eminem show. I do like now the Slim Shady LP. It has some joints on it. I don't love it though. You know what I'm saying? But I know both of those first 2 or 3 albums got like 5 stars on All Music and all of this stuff like that. I know it's critically acclaimed. And of course, people always throw Eminem record sales in my face, especially when I did the post earlier in the last 24 hours with talking about him and Game. I know Eminem has sold the most, man. Just based off population alone, this is no hate. Eminem is like number 8 on my all-time list. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the most skilled MCs of all time. So it's not hate. I know people always say I throw a shot at Eminem. No, I like Eminem a lot. I played some of his joints in the car recently and like, look, I keep him in the car too. I got some Eminem. It's mostly like mixtape joints that I've made together because I don't listen to his full albums like that. Because he always has some joints on there that I just don't feel. You know what I'm saying? So I have mixtapes of Eminem work. You know what I'm saying? So it's not hate. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that, you know, I'm not listening to him on like the regular basis with his full albums. I listen to Game albums as albums. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to take, 4 songs from one album, 3 songs from one album, 2 songs from one album, and make a Game CD that I enjoy. I can just put a few of his CDs in my car, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. With Eminem, I can listen to Eminem show and the Marshall Mathers LP like that, but most of them I have to pull a lot of songs off. You know what I'm saying? Even with the Marshall Mathers LP, when I look at some of these songs, I don't listen to I'm Back. I don't listen to Remember Me. I don't listen to Drug Battle like that or Amityville. I don't really listen to those songs like that. You know what I'm saying? On the Game album, if it's 18 tracks or what have you, or 17 tracks if you include the intro, out of 17, like 14 of them, they dope. You know what I'm saying? It's a better album to me. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like the sound of it. You know what I'm saying? I rock with it more. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, what do you guys think about those 2 albums, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, you know what I'm saying? It's always interesting to talk about earlier 2000 albums, you know what I'm saying, and how they match up against other classics. You know what I mean? Would you put either one of these albums up against the big classics? When I say the super classics, to your Infamous, your Only Built for Cuban Links, 36 Chambers, The Chronic, Doggy Style, that level of classic material. Do you look at the Marshall Mathers LP like the legendary classic albums? I'm not talking about popularity or sales right now. In terms of the quality, is it on the level of the Low End Theory? Or of Ill Half-Life to me? Of De La Soul is Dead. Nas, It Was Written. Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt. Is it on that level? Is the Game album, because it's heavily East Coast influence too, is the Game album on the same level as, the Black Album, the Blueprint, some of these big classics, you know what I'm saying? Does it stand up? How did it age to you? How did the Marshall Mathers LP age to you? Like right now, listen to Eminem's Marshall Mathers LP. Does it sound dated to you? Does it still sound good? Does it sound like it sounded when you first heard it? You know what I'm saying? Like people don't want to hear that age gracefully, but some albums to me age better than others. You know what I'm saying? So how does Eminem's Marshall Mathers LP sound now? How does the Game sound now? Because for me, the Game album still sounds fresh because the production is so crispy. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that the Game album, it sounds more current, more recent to me. It's kind of like listening to Only Built for Cuban Links, man. What RZA did, 20 plus years later, it still sounds like futuristic. You know what I'm saying? Game has some outstanding beats on there. You know what I'm saying? Now, Eminem, are there any outstanding beats on the album, or are they just outstanding songs? Like Stan beat is not outstanding, but Stan as a song is outstanding. You know what I'm saying? Is Kill You. Well, I think that beat is incredible on Kill You. I do believe that beat is incredible. Marshall Mathers, I believe it fit the vibe of what he was trying to accomplish on there. Bitch Please too, of course. I mean, it's a dope beat, what have you. But just think about this for a minute. The singles for the Game documentary album: West Side Story, This Is How We Do, Hate It or Love It, Higher, Dreams, and Put You Up on Game. Those 6 singles. That's monstrous, man. That was monstrous for the West Coast. Game definitely was the face of the West Coast at that time. Again, he was a new star of the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? He held the title of the new star of the West Coast to Kendrick came. I mean, he was pretty much the most popular one. Not mean he's the best, but the most popular. Because you could debate, is Crooked I better than him as a rapper? You know what I'm saying? Like, Crooked I is better than a lot of people on East and the West Coast, so you can consider that. As far as the singles on Marshall Mathers LP, the Real Slim Shady, of course, because again, that was to get the buzz going again after the Slim Shady LP, and it did that on MTV. So you have that. You have The Way I Am, another big song, another big video. Then you had Stan, which just took it out of the stratosphere. So you had the Real Slim Shady, did The Way I Am, Stan, I'm Back, and Bitch Please too. Monstrous 5 singles. You know what I'm saying? The Game's 5 singles, of course, wasn't monstrous like Eminem's 5 singles. Now, we were just looking at the singles. Then, even though I prefer the singles I just read off from the Game, they're definitely not bigger than the Real Slim Shady, The Way I Am, and Stan. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, those are some of the biggest singles with some of the biggest impacts that we saw of that generation. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where it goes. So people, I'm not going to hold you. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about that? If you rank the songs for these 2 albums, which album would win to you? Would the documentary defeat the Marshall Mathers LP the way I had it, winning by at least two tracks, I believe, 2 or 3 tracks, or maybe more than that? I had to look at that again, but I definitely had it winning. What do you guys think? Appreciate it again. Episode 19 is done. See you on episode 20. Peace.